Hey, what's up, everybody? You want to put this away? Make sure the keys don't drop out. Mm-hmm.
Your hands.
Cool, thanks. Hey, what's up, everybody? We gotta go downtown. Johnny Air Cargo. Let's see. Going to drop off stuff that we got from Philippines. Okay. Yep.
West End. I don't want Middle Road. West End.
West End to 14th Street, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How you doing? Are you cold? Okay. Yeah, so we're back in New York. Been back in for like a week. Had a lot of jet lag and everything from Manila. But I think we're back to normal now. The flight coming back from Philippines was pretty good. 15 hours. But going to Manila was 22 because we couldn't fly over Russian airspace. So it took much longer than expected. And that was announced to us when we got to the airport about to board the flight. They said that it's going to be 22 hours, which was a real heartbreak because that was a long time on a plane. Then I got back. I had to put a chain on the KLR real quick because my neighbor was using the KLR and a chain popped on him. He actually went down. Pretty bad, actually. He was afraid of the KLR after that, which I don't blame him. When the KLR goes down on you, it gives you a little bit of a frightening experience because it's not a light dirt bike. You know, it's not like the XR when it goes down. You just pick it up, move it to the side of the road, and then get yourself together, see if there's anything damaged, and then move on. But he was just on a bridge when it happened, coming from Bronx back into Manhattan, and he went down because the chain popped. And then he didn't have he's never really dealt with the KLR before, so he didn't really understand the fact that you had to loosen the axle bolt. But I think most bikes are like that, but I guess he was just frazzled. Makes sense. I mean, it's not your bike, and you go down, you're probably scared, which I would be too. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I'd probably just do what he did, towed it back to the house and leave it and don't touch it again. He never touched it again. I don't think he'd want to ride this thing again. because it just gave him like a bad experience. But I'm pretty sure he popped the chain because of trying to start the bike while it was in gear, while he was in front of the courthouse where he works, Bronx Housing Court. And he was cranking away and the bike was lurching and stuff. And he said he realized afterwards, oh shit, what am I doing? I'm starting the bike with it in gear. But he said he was used to his bike where the kickstand was down. And I had mentioned that, you know, before I gave the bike, I mentioned it twice. I said the kickstand does not shut the bike off, you know, when you put it down. I said the only thing that does is the clutch. You know, if you're holding the clutch in a little bit and you start the bike, it's going to start with the kickstand down. But if you start it, you know, with the clutch out, not pulled in, then it'll shut the bike off. So yeah, that was probably a frightening experience for him, but I think he pulled on the chain too much trying to start it. Then he said he got it running and it was fine, and he went his first turn, he went out around the chain popped, you know, so that makes sense because a starter gear has a lot of torque, you know, and if you're cranking away on that thing and it's lurching the bike, it's the whole bike is going to be, the whole weight of the bike and the torque of the engine is going to be pulling on that chain. I've done it before. You know, I launched the KLR650 into the almost took out like a guy on a bicycle. He was like, "What are you doing, man?" Because I was up in Harlem working on the bike and I hit the starter. That bike, the owner before it sold it to me, that disabled the clutch and the kickstand. So both of those, which I did not do on the KLR, because I would recommend not to do that, because you might catch yourself one time where you don't want the bike to lurch, you know. The kickstand one, you definitely got to disable that, because with the snow and the rain and the salt in the roads here, you're going to have problems with that. And that's exactly what happened to me. My kickstand safety switch just went bad, and I was in the middle of 17-degree weather. I needed to go somewhere, and I was freezing my ass off outside trying to figure out what was going on. And, you know, it was cold, and I finally figured it out. When that happened, I was, you know, I just quickly bypassed that switch because it got corroded. I tried to fix it, tried to clean it. I mentioned that in another video, but I just couldn't get it working right. And rather than order another one and have it get destroyed again, I just left the clutch handle safety switch enabled, because that's good enough, actually. Those two of those, that, you know, that one alone is good. Yeah. Yeah, and then this switch is waterproof, so I never had problems with that. Yeah, so that's always been good enough for me, just the clutch switch on the handlebar. But anybody getting a new KLR, if you're in a cold weather all year round riding, nasty weather, salt, snow, adverse weather, you probably want to disable that. But if you're in California, but a lot of people in California disable it too, because if you do a lot of off-road riding, and when you bounce the bike, if the kickstand bounces, it's going to shut the bike off on you, which would be really bad going up a hill, especially on a heavy bike like a KLR. And that's probably why you would want the ability to start the bike too, because if you're on a hill and your kickstand is you're using the kickstand to hold the bike up. Because that doesn't go to 14th Street. No, that ends over there. Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah. Is 14 right here.
No, I know. So it's straight?
Yeah, all the way to the Johnny here.
Ah, okay. But we're not turning here?
Right here.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
There's nice neighborhoods to live also.
Yeah.
I would love to stay here.
Yeah, so I would say if you're getting a new, even I don't know how the new KLR those switches, but I guess if you do a lot of off-road riding, you're gonna want to disable the kickstand. It's just put a short on the wire that goes back to the CDI. You just cut the wires coming from the, or if you want to remove the connector and everything and tape it up so that if you do sell the bike, if the person said, hey, I want that back in place, you could do that. Huh? Alright. I'm not sure where, you gotta look on your phone where the Citibank is. Yeah, that's a nice dog. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting to hear from like other riders with the 2022 KLR.
I like this way going.
You know what they're doing. If they're off-roading, you're definitely going to want to disable that. But I don't know if they improved upon the switch, but I had problems with that, and that was a 2018. I had problems like literally like a year, the first winter. First winter, it just fucked up on me, and I don't blame that. You know, I mean, that thing's just sitting there. It's right on the kickstand switch right there at the bottom of the bike. It's pretty bad. It gets hit with everything from the road. It's like mounted under the plastic that's on the kickstand, right by where the bolt is. And I also had that bolt actually come loose on me, and I dropped the bike when I had a big box on the back. And then I had to lean the bike on something and bend it and fix it. It was a close one though. That was pretty bad. And if that kickstand fell off, you know, the bolt or the kickstand fell off in the highway, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably have to like leave the bike on its side with fuel leaking out of it, and that would have been disaster. Or maybe put like a stand under it or something to hold, something to prop it up while I order a kickstand. That'd be the only option I have. But I wouldn't feel safe leaving in the street like that. So yeah, kickstand is one of those things that you definitely want to check on a KLR, which I didn't really pay attention till I had a problem with the safety switch where I was stranded somewhere, and I just had to immediately diagnose what it was and then put a short on the wire going back to the CDI, and I was good to go. Huh? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so I'm done on 14th Street. We're just going to go a little bit further and then go to Johnny Air Cargo. Well, basically what I was saying about the kickstand, there's I shorted the wires that come up, but this is the stand right here. Like, you can see, like, if I put the bike in gear now, it will not shut off. Which, for some people might be dangerous, but if you leave this switch, then you have to pull the clutch to start the bike. So you'd almost have to, let's see, if you have the bike, oh no, but that wouldn't prevent you from leaving the kickstand down, no. So most people are in the mode that when you get on the bike, you just put the kickstand up. But if you feel like you're going to forget that, then you want to keep that, you take that plastic cover off and fix it, buy a new switch. or keep it better protected so it doesn't short out, because that one shorted out on me. Or not shorted out, it broke. The switch wasn't shorting anymore. So when you go like this, it opens when you put the kickstand, let's see, when you put the kickstand down, it opens the wire. Yeah, it got stuck in the switch was in the down position. So when I put it in gear, it probably fail safes to that. So if the switch goes bad, it probably fail safes to down position on that, because you want that to be safe. But with this here, if you try to start the bike in gear, this will protect you from starting the bike in gear, but it will not protect you from leaving your kickstand down. One of the ways that you could prevent ever having a problem is that if someone, like for example, you always have a routine, but if someone walks up to you and they're talking to you while you get on your bike and you start your bike, and then you're just about to leave and someone walks up and talks to you and blocks you from doing your routine, you've got to remember that before you say a word to that person, to finish that routine of bringing the kickstand up. That's the way I've trained myself. Like, even if someone's talking to me, but if I'm on my bike and I start it up and I'm just about to leave and someone walks up to me and talks to me, I follow through with that, because if you stop to talk to the person and leave your stand down, you might take off with your stand down. It's just one of those things you gotta get a routine going, because you'll have a very bad day if you go around a left turn with your stand down on this bike. You're gonna hit that and just, it's gonna bring you down hard. Huh?
They didn't put out one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, today I'll just pay them with a card.
Or why don't you look where Citibank is?
What?
Look for the Citibank. There should be. Oh, right there.
Yeah, there's a Citibank.
Walk over there then. I'll just meet you over there. Yeah, like I said, I've never did that, but that's what happened to me one time on my Buell, which did not come with a kickstand. It didn't come stock with a kickstand switch, safety switch. I guess Harleys don't have that, but there was actually a motorcycle cop pulled up to me while I was getting on the bike, and he was talking to me and saying, "How do you like the Buell?" And I thought he was coming to give me a ticket or something. I just didn't know. Like, whenever I see motorcycle cops in LA, I just don't. They normally